On this episode of Pin My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pin My Setup, episode number 6, recorded live on November 23rd, 2014. My name's Matt Philly. You can check me out on Twitter at Matt Philly.
And I'm Jay's 2 Cents. Of course, you can check me out, Jay's 2 Cents, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, the fun of the internet. You have the same username across the board.
It's all about branding.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. I've don't get asked to come on too many shows too often because everyone knows I'm so busy, but I really like Pimp My Setup, so I figured we'd see what it's all about.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. All right, so let's do what the whole show is about. Let's talk setups. This episode, I made sure that some of the setups would make you cringe and some of the setups you would like. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun seeing your reaction. So let's start off with the first setup submitted by Jason. He says,
Wait, are you saying I'm an elitist?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I accept that.
I think the first one will definitely show how you feel about it, because I know you're all about your builds and everything. So I want you to see how this guy treats his computer. So let's see here. This one is Jason. He's 14 and he's a hardcore gamer. So let's take a look at his setup. So we're obviously going to go category by category. But what are your initial thoughts just taking a look at this?
I think the age really is important to know on these builds, so
Yep.
I'm glad you're telling me that because that puts things into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, chances are he's dealing with extremely limited budgets, so it's not like he could just go out and buy, PC stands or desks or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know where he lives, but I know in California, I would never put my PC up high like that because it's guaranteed to come down at some point.
Yeah.
The wires do scare me, though.
Yeah. So speaking of wires, the first category being wire management, I like how he tried to mount some things. He tried to at least tame it in some way, shape, or form, but maybe
the power
not
strip's
the best
kind of trick. I mean, the power strip's in a good spot if
Yeah.
you can just clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, but having your PC that high up, trying to make the
That's
wires
scary.
work is not really possible. So, I mean, he should definitely think about just putting that on the floor to, it looks like he has carpet, so I would definitely get, even just a piece of wood, right? That would.
Well, I think one suggestion I have too is you can see the back of his hutch has a panel there, so he's got all the means he needs to hide those wires. Slide that PC a little bit more towards the middle. Put those wires behind that hutch.
Yeah.
I don't see why they need to be on the side, and then pull the desk away from the wall just another inch, and he's got all the space he needs.
Yeah. No, exactly. And honestly, it's not terrible because he did try to hang things up and
Yeah.
I do think, like you said, his age plays a fact into it, but I still think I'm going to give him a 3 because I like what he tried to do, but with just a little bit of work, he could get a lot, a much higher score.
Yeah, I agree with the 3. I will say this though, he has a better setup than I did when I was 14.
Yeah,
So
oh.
he's definitely going good there. You can see it's kind of doubling as a school homework zone too. It looks like he's got his papers organized. Maybe find some space for some of the other stuff like the hole punch and the tape dispenser and whatnot. Maybe, I don't know what's in the drawers, but that seems like a logical place for him. But yeah, I would agree with the 3 on the wire management.
Yeah. And, speaking of all the different accessories he has going around, out of sight, out of mind, since that's the next category, one thing we always talk about is he's got a stick of deodorant just on top. I mean,
Well, he's 14, man. The guy stinks all the time.
oh yeah, he probably does smell pretty bad. So I mean, that's not the end of the world, but maybe a bathroom or something like that's a good place to put those things, or even in one of the drawers, you could do that.
I want to know what the green bottle is. I don't know if that's hair gel or what. I wouldn't be putting on hair gel at my desk, but I don't know what that is.
It says Irish Spring. I wonder what that
Oh,
is.
so is it shampoo? It's shampoo, like body wash. Is that his bathroom?
It's got some like nice little baby wipes behind that. So yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to say the least. And then he's got like his little Angry Birds, and he's got the tape and the little RC helicopter. So he's got just a little bit of everything going on. So I would definitely clear it off. If you're not using it on a daily basis, it definitely does not need to be just chilling on top. I mean, yeah, you could have the Angry Birds thing. That's cool. Display what you like, but to a certain degree. So because of that, I feel terrible because I always say I'm not going to let age play a factor because everyone should be on a level playing field. And just 2 episodes ago, we had someone.
You submit a setup to be critiqued. It's going to be critiqued on the same criteria. So
yeah, we had someone 2 episodes ago that was 11 and he beat everyone else. So that just goes to show. I'm just going to go with a 3 again because it's just a little bit of work, man. You could get a high score.
Yeah, I that's my honest recommendation. If he's watching right now, scoot that desk away an inch, slide that PC over, put the cables behind the desk, and the whole setup will improve by doing that.
Yeah. And so what do you want to give it as far as a score?
Overall?
For out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, I would honestly go with a 2 because I don't think anything's out of sight.
Yeah, well, that's safe to say. All right, so now we come up to usability, and I mean, as far as usability, it's not the end of the world when he's sitting there. He's got some space, and I mean, maybe move the monitors a little bit closer together. You could keep the one, at that angle, but I would definitely want them like touching, especially if they're all connected to the same computer. So
those gaps bother me.
Yeah. I don't know how the whole point of having dual monitors is so you could just kind of move your head and it's all fluid,
Yeah.
So
even if they're not the same size, make them touch and it'll make more sense.
Oh yeah, and even if you raise one up, using whatever, it helps, and it's all about the experience. So as far as usability, I would give him a 6 because it's not terrible, but I would definitely move the monitors and things like that.
Let's see, I'd probably give him a 5. Even though the monitors are not matched, they have the same style base. I mean, he could make much better use of that space there. I think he's doing okay overall, though. Considering it doesn't look like he has a keyboard drawer, so he can't get the keyboard off of the desk, the mouse, speakers are kind of pushed back. So I think usability-wise, he's doing about a 5.
Yeah. So now 2 more categories left. Accessories. He is 14, so that his budget, like you were saying earlier, is not like, a 30-year-old that's doing a setup. So because of that, it's still not that bad because he's got his headphones. He has them hung up nicely with the nice little metal hook, and like you were saying, he has his speakers, mouse, keyboard. It's not the end of the world. And then I like that he's got that little tray to the side. It's a little weird, but it's still cool that he has his laptop over there with another random speaker.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that's hooked up to. It looks like it might be going to the laptop. Actually, it
almost
looks like it might not. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's plugged into anything.
Yeah, I guess he just plugs into the laptop every so often, maybe if he ever needs it.
Maybe that turns into like his Pandora machine or something when he's doing homework. Who knows?
But he does have LED lights. They may not be the strongest, but it's also because he has his lights on and whatnot. But it's still cool that he put that in there. Most people don't have LEDs. So, overall, I think that it's not terrible, but I think split halfway with a 5 is fair.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I hate to sound harsh, but I might even go with a 4.
Okay.
Mostly because it's hard to tell exactly what's accessory and what's clutter. Because, I mean, I can tell he doesn't have a lot of space. It's probably the only space he's allowed to call his own in his house. I don't know what his house situation is, but it looks like he's trying to get all of his favorite little belongings on that desk, which to me takes away the accessorized portion of the desk and makes it more of like a catch-all. Yeah. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. And, okay, so this is a question I always ask. What do you think the theme is of his setup?
I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a theme.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more than likely out of his control, but the yellow gives me nightmares. I don't like. I mean, what's funny is I love yellow, like in my computers and stuff. Yellow's my favorite color, but I don't like yellow rooms.
Yeah, like dandelion sort of.
It's kind of like grandma's, room.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
In terms of the color, and I know that's probably out of his control, but I don't think he even has the ability to do a theme based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the floor. It's pink, so I don't really think he has. I mean, his name's Jason. I think the last thing he wants is like a decked out pink carpet and, the whole pink LEDs. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe that he could really like pink, which, you should definitely try to keep the color going throughout so you could have at least your theme could be color based. But I do this all the time, so I don't feel too terrible about it, but I'm going to go for a 0 because I can't even looking hard at it, I don't really see too much of what a theme would be for you. So
I'm going to agree with the 0 because there's not a theme. This is a form over function for him. Function would be the theme. So Yeah, I'm definitely going to go with the Zero. If you had featured one of my setups like back before I started YouTube, this room I'm in right now, even though it's white and it used to be like a gray office, it was like a canary yellow with like plaid curtains and stuff before I did anything with this room. It was terrible. I remember I put my setup up on Hardforum once on like a, show off your workspace thread.
Yeah.
I got hammered hard. So I don't feel too bad giving it a 0 because there's no theme.
It's true. I mean, just because he's young, he's not going to get an awesome score. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But now moving on to the next setup. It's submitted by Crawford. And wow, his setup was actually in the episode 1. He was in the intro. That's how cool his setup was. He had like an awesome fast-paced video that he sent us. And he's 20 years old. He's from Australia. And he just wants to know what we think. So starting off with wire management, I mean, I don't know about you. It's pretty good.
It's meticulous.
Yeah.
You know what this looks like to me, honestly? It honestly looks like a shrunk down version of Jerry's setup. A little mini version of it. He's got the PC off to the side. He's got his triple panel. He's got his, is that a sound mix? It's like a soundboard in front of his keyboard. Yeah. I don't know if he does podcasts or whatnot, but I see quite a few headphones. I don't know why he would need a soundboard unless maybe he's doing some editing or something, but he looks, wire management on that, I mean, you can see the wires coming off the left of the MacBook and coming out of the soundboard, and that's it.
Yeah, and I mean there's no way you could avoid those. That's just how it's going to be. And
he clearly does some sort of production though. It looks like there's a shoulder rig down there on the floor.
Oh yeah. And I do want to mention, he said in the email that the left side is a standing setup with the laptop. So that's why, some people are going to be like, why is the monitor so high up? It's because it's standing. So that's the point of that. So for wire management, without getting into the other categories, I have to say, for me, it's a 10 because, like you said, you see the wires coming out, but they just disappear. They just fade away.
You can only see those because you have no choice. I mean, I don't see any monitor wires in the back. Maybe one. I can't tell if that's a twisted wire there, but he's gone the extra mile to make the wires disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, he's even got his Corsair mouse cable going underneath the trackpad there.
Yeah, that's dedication right there.
Yeah,
that's really nice. I really like that.
I have to wonder if it's always this neat.
Yeah, he definitely did a little bit of cleaning up. I mean, I would hope that people do, but it's still, it doesn't surprise me when I see a dirty setup being submitted. It makes me wonder. So what do you want to give it for wire management?
I'm going to give it a 10.
Okay, cool.
I don't think it can get any better than that unless he custom made panels to go over the ends of those devices.
Yeah. Or a lot of people say, it's actually something I've been seeing a lot. People say for wired accessories, like a mouse, to drill a hole into your desk, which I don't really think is the best, because what if you move where your mouse is?
Yeah.
You just have a random hole in your desk. So maybe not the best. But for out of sight, out of mind, this is another thing. People think that you have to have literally nothing in sight to get a good score. But if you have things in sight and they're not unnecessary items, then you're good, because you need them. There's a reason why you have it out. Like those headphones, he may not use every single pair at the same time, obviously, but he may switch, and they're very accessible. And honestly, I think that a couple things look a little crazy. I think he has he has like an SSD that's sort of, he could maybe tuck away a little bit more. It's not terrible. He could get some storage bins maybe underneath to hide his Rode mic and everything, red mic, and just a couple things here and there. So I think a 9 is fair, because it's almost perfect, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I see the SSD now. SSD's in there on the left. He's got some product boxes that he might be using to try and maybe hide some stuff behind there. But I see a hard drive standing up. So, but that looks like that might be a hot swap to me. So maybe the SSD makes sense, because if he's doing media of some sort, which I'm guessing by the soundboard and the shoulder rig, I believe that might be a hot swap drive, so you can stick that SSD in and out of there and transfer media and footage.
Sure.
So I think it might make sense for it to be there. I'm wondering what the I guess I figured that out. I was trying to figure out if that was an antenna sticking up in front of his center monitor, but I guess that's his pen for his trackpad there.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a little writing tablet. Yeah, I mean, again, it looks like everything makes perfect sense. This is clearly set up specific to his desire and needs. I mean, he turns to the left, he stands up, he's completely set up. He sits down, turns to the right. Everything's where it needs to be. So I think out of sight, out of mind. I'll easily give it I'm going to give it a 9, not quite a 10, only because, and I know this is almost a little hypocritical to say because I used to have a wall of boxes, but I'm kind of an anti-box person now.
Yeah.
So I think the boxes bother me a little bit on the left.
Like, I feel like if he had maybe a shelf above his setup or something, that's cool, but I don't like when your whole setup is, completely surrounded by empty boxes, because it I don't know. I mean, it is nice that it's kind of hidden underneath, and because some people just put it on top of their desk,
Right. And another reason why I had to call myself a little bit hypocritical is if I point the camera up a little bit, I do have the 980 boxes on display there. You can see them above the TV. But that's only because I have, hypocrite.
That's a good reason. I like that.
No, I mean, and it's cool though. Like if you're a tech geek, we like to display our stuff. And I mean, it looks like he's got a Brix Pro that's a gigabyte, little mini PC. So that's kind of pimp to have out there.
Yeah.
He's got his HTC phone box there. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm wondering what's behind there. If he's using those to hide something.
Either that, or he's got like all his wires just chilling there, which
it could be. Yeah.
I mean, hey, if that's the case, not a lot of people really think about it. So it's a good way to cover him up. But for usability, I mean, there's, like you were just saying before, he literally he could turn and he's doing whatever he needs. So he's 1 second in front of his triple monitor setup. He could stand up without even moving and be over at his MacBook Pro. He's got everything he needs as far as headphones and whatever it may be, all literally and there's a really big truck going by right now. So I apologize. Yeah. Jesus. All right. I would appreciate it if like, left.
Is there a plane landing in your place?
It kept getting louder. I'm like, what is going on? But yeah, I really think that as far as usability, and I usually don't give a 10 for usability. I mean, this guy has everything literally at his fingertips. So I think a 10.
I agree with the 10.
I look at that. Like everything he needs.
And it's such an efficient use of that space. That's a small L-shaped desk. Mm-hmm. I like my stuff spread out, so I personally couldn't use that kind of setup. Mm-hmm. But obviously, it works for him. It's set up specifically for his user case, and I think he's probably dialed it in. So
yeah. All right. So now accessories. I'm trying not to give this guy like a complete perfect score because everyone's just gonna be like, is it because he has triple monitors? No, it's not because he has triple monitors. It's not because of any of that. Yeah. I always get people saying that, but he really has like some really cool accessories. I mean, just look at his main desktop. Like, forget the left side of his setup. Like, look at everything he has right there. That's right. That's some awesome equipment. And like you were saying, he's got some different things going on the bottom, like his red mic and all the different the little suitcase thing has probably got another piece of equipment for like video, something like that. I would assume. And he's got all these headphones. I mean, it's really. Should I give another 10? I don't know if I should.
I can't tell by the contrast, but I mean, he's got a whole nother PC down there too. So who knows what's going on? I mean, it's clearly a Cooler Master Evo case. Plus, he's got the Brix hanging out there somewhere. So he could potentially have 4 main computers going right here for all we know. Because I can't tell if that Samsung monitor on the left is an accessory for the MacBook. I'll assume it is because it looks like a DisplayPort output on the left. But who knows? I mean, he could have an HDMI switcher or something switching between that PC on the bottom if it actually works. So he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would have that case there if it wasn't doing something.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of accessories, I think, I don't know how to give it anything other than a 10. I mean, even the tablet has a perfect little slot there to go in.
It's perfect. So I'll agree with the 10, honestly, because I can't give it a 9 because I don't have the reason to say like, it deserves a 9 because of this. It's literally perfect.
I think the only thing that I could say that in terms of accessories that would make this setup just perfect. So okay, I'm gonna backtrack. I'm gonna give it a 9 instead of a 10. Okay. The reason for that is I think if he had a single monitor arm on the Samsung and a triple monitor arm for the center, it would be perfect.
That's actually that's pretty true. Do you think that his desk is like completely custom made?
Yeah, I think he might have modified a desk. Yeah. I don't see any legs. I mean, maybe the Cooler Master case is blocking the back leg, but it looks like it has custom, maybe modified desktops that he's got resting on, at least on the right-hand side. The legs are the file cabinet, which is not a part of the desk. Mm-hmm. So it looks to me like he might have taken 2 desks and sort of jerry-rigged them, if you will, together to fit his needs, because I don't recognize this desk, and I spend a lot of time looking at desks.
And it's really nice. I really like just the where the monitors are, because like you were saying, like people can get the triple monitor mount, the one arm in the middle that holds all three, or whatever the case may be. But it's like it's pretty cool. I still don't like all the monitor stands. It takes up a lot, but I mean,
I don't know
if works for it.
I don't know if it counts as an accessory. I guess it would. I know the chat's been mentioning it for a while, and I noticed it the moment I opened the picture. For somebody who has such a perfect setup, though, he must have sentimental value with that chair.
Yeah. Oh my God. It looks like he was chewing on the arms or something.
That chair looks like it's straight out of like 1982.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It makes me wonder, because he's got a pricey setup there. It makes me wonder why he doesn't go to Office Depot and even spend $100 on just a basic chair that would be better than
one
that.
Or something.
Maybe he sits in it and he goes, he has not found a chair that's more comfortable than that to him. Who knows?
True. Yeah, he should then try to do something with the arms, kind of clean
Cover
them up
it
a little. Yeah, do something. Looks
Yeah.
like a mouse just started like eating away at it or something.
The chair really does detract from the whole set. Like if he had taken the chair out of the picture and we didn't know any better,
Would have been nice. Yeah.
it would have been perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he could also have that chair blocking some things. But then again, the case is over there, so who knows? It's a mystery to say the least.
Yeah.
All right, so now we are up to theme, right, Cam? Is that theme? Okay, cool. So theme, I mean, I think what's awesome about him is it's more of a personal theme rather than like okay, he's a musician, or okay, he's an artist, or he's a video guy. It's like you could see he's got a little bit of everything going on in terms of creativity. So I think that I would pull out the theme of creativity.
Creator.
Yeah.
That was the theme that came to mind when I looked at this. Was he's a creator? What he's creating, we don't quite know.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves Rode mic, as you can see, but he's also got his video equipment. So I would even go out on a limb and say maybe this guy is some sort of like a wedding videographer or something.
True. Yeah. This is another one. I'm not sure. Like, I want to give it a 10 because when I looked at it, I thought creator. And, it did kind of take a second for me to look around to see all the different things, but that's what you would expect because he has so many different accessories that pull the theme together. So I think
I am apropos in the chat saying audio production theme is what it looks like to him. I agreed until I saw the shoulder rig. You don't have a shoulder rig if you're an audio creator.
Yeah. And then you look at, he's got his tablet, which I mean, why, what do you use that for when it comes to audio? Video, you could use it. You could use it for, I'm seeing like maybe graphics, and he does have the soundboard. So
yeah.
It's
because the soundboard seems to me like it would be some sort of a live podcast thing, but he doesn't have a boom mic or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused on exactly what he's creating. It's a mystery. I kind of want him to email me now.
Yeah. If he's around, he should definitely. Oh, you know what? I looked at his subject of the email. He said his IT/content creator setup. So
all right.
I didn't even have to read that to get the content theme, and neither did you. So
yeah,
I think
and the web, the IT to me, the tablet, I'm not sure exactly what he would be doing with it. I mean, I know you can use it in some creation for video, but unless he's doing like drafting of some sort, I don't know. Maybe he just uses it for like his professional drawing software, and I'm all of a sudden getting the sun like right in my face.
Yeah,
stupid thing. All
right. So I think I'm gonna go with the 10 for theme. What do you think?
I'm gonna go again back down. I'm gonna do devil's advocate. I'm gonna give him an 8.5 because of the chair.
Okay. All right.
Even if he says that thing is completely molded to his butt, I don't care. Do something to make it look better. Get it reupholstered. I don't know, something.
I think it's funny. You were the first person to ever give a 0.5, a half. So.
Well, I think an 8's harsh, but I almost feel like a 9's a little bit too much of leniency towards the chair.
So, okay, 8.5. All right, so let's move on to the next setup. The next setup is submitted by Christian, and he says he's a full-time IT major, and he's into editing and graphics, and he's all about portability and power. So he talks about how his setup is all based off of a MacBook that he actually takes to class with him every day. Then he comes back and he's over at his setup. So it's there's so much about the setup that I love, and then there's so much that I'm just like, I don't know. The desk kind of looks a little. He was saying that there's something wrong with his desk where he can't like clean it. Like there's like some residue on it. So.
Well, I recognize the desk. I'm fairly certain that's one of the lower end IKEA desks that you just buy the top and then the legs and they screw together. Mm-hmm. It's the same desk I actually got my wife for her setup, but it's the same color as my desks. So, I could tell he was in IT immediately by the chair. I don't know many IT people who don't have a chair very similar to that. My office chair at work was like $1,000, and it's very similar to that chair. They're just super comfortable to sit in.
Are those the Herman?
I don't remember the exact brand that mine is, but I know that it's like all like certified by the Spine Association of America.
And,
yeah.
So I mean, let's break it down by category to category. So wire management. I mean, he really put a lot of time into it, and he wrote in the email that he has one of the little IKEA baskets mounted under his desk, which is catching all those wires. Obviously, that's why they're not on the floor. So
it's the same thing I have.
Yeah, and you could. I mean, really, the only thing you could see is at the bottom. I'm pretty sure that's for his MacBook, the adapter at the bottom left. And really, other than that, I don't see anything. I mean, look at even.
He's even got the LED strip going on the back of the desk there.
Yeah, I mean, look at the coming out of the MacBook. Look at how he has that Velcroed.
Yep.
I mean, that's dedication. I think that and I don't know if you noticed the light at the top right. There's actually that wire coming down, but the guitar sort of like hides it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like it's clearly going up to like an IKEA. This guy spent a lot of time at IKEA. I recognize a lot of IKEA stuff here.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the same exact light I have hanging up here in this corner coming down, but only I got one of those corner channels that you stick to the corner of the wall, and then it has like a little plate that goes over it so you hide the wire.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing he could really do to improve that.
Yeah, so I think that because you just suggested that, I would give it a 9 because just buy that since you're always, did you say you got that at IKEA?
Actually, I got the WireGuard at Home Depot.
Okay, maybe you should spend more time there.
And it was $20. But the thing is, it's plastic. You can paint it. It's the same thing like people use under their TVs when they don't want to hide the wires in their TV. I have 2 of those in my house.
Yeah.
You just paint it the same color as your wall if you still have the paint, and you stick it up there with double-sided tape. The face of it comes off a little plastic strip. Put the wire behind it. Put the plastic strip on, and it just looks like molding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I bought some not that long ago, and it was called wire molding, and it was in Home Depot. So either name, it should be pretty obvious when you see it.
You can get it just at their electrical section.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to quickly clarify because people are giving me hate. Yes, it's a bass. I'm sorry because it has 4 strings, not a guitar. I didn't mean. Don't hate me.
How dare you?
Damn. Okay.
I am off the show. Goodbye.
I was worried about that if you were just up and left. All right. So now moving on from wire management, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I think this is one of the most perfect examples because he literally has his pad, his pen, a mug, his phone, a little Android figurine, which is just there for decoration. His headphones are nicely.
I didn't even notice that. That is like trolling the world right there. It's like a whole Mac-based setup with an Android chilling on the desk. I love it.
It is pretty cool that he did that. I'm trying to figure out what kind of phone he has. It's a little hard to tell. I don't know what that is, but I'm wondering if it's Android. Probably Android.
It's clearly not an iPhone.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that like a case on the back or something like that? Oh,
I don't know, but it's not. I'm pretty sure that's not an iPhone.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was you?
Now we're talking about out of sight, out of mind right now.
Yeah.
I wish he showed us to the right a little bit more. I see more legs. I want to know what it looks like to the right.
Yeah. I can only imagine what's over there.
I mean, clearly he's got a stand there holding up an LED light, which is very similar to the one I have on my shoulder rig camera. Mm. But I see another tripod. It's probably a camera. But if his room looks to the right, anything like mine does that direction, then it's a 2.
Yeah.
but no, I mean, if he's dealing with space limitations like I am, it's impossible to get out of sight, out of mind. I mean, This room right now is a disaster. Especially if it doubles as a true workspace and not just a hobby space.
Yeah, I think for the side that he did decide to show us, it's pretty damn good.
You're gonna have to start requiring 360 photos.
Come on, every phone has the panoramic. Let's start utilizing it. Let's make it work. I'm trying to think though. Is there anything that doesn't fit? I really don't think that there is. I think it's all
the Android.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just being devil's advocate now. I'm gonna give it a 9.
9. All right. I think I'm gonna match it. I do like what he decided to go for with everything though. Like in terms of placement, it's really pretty straightforward. And speaking of placement, getting into usability, I mean, it's really not that bad because he doesn't touch the MacBook. So
I'm going to point out that he has the exact same boom arm I do. It's just as the Heil PL2T. Biggest waste of money.
Really?
I hate that. I hate this boom. Just saying.
I got a cheap like Chinese one off Amazon.
And that's what I always recommend now to people.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be really careful with them because I literally was like during one show I pulled it out and it just fell into like 7 pieces. So you know, obviously they're Chinese, cheap. You got to
No, the boom is rugged. It's just $130.
Oh yeah, I heard that they're not. Some of them. I had a Heil. I'm trying to think what model it was, but mine just stopped working after like a year. I guess it needed new springs or whatever it may have been. But yeah, they're really expensive for an ARM. I mean,
Yeah, they are. Well, Heil is one of those audio brands too that's just super expensive. I believe they're German, and I don't know why everything is so expensive if it has the Heil name on it.
yeah, like the Heil PR40, like
Right.
it's like $350 right now. It used to be even more expensive. It's crazy. But yeah, so for usability, he's sitting there. The arm, it obviously stretches out perfectly for him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have it there. And I don't know. It's really solid as far as, you know, going and using it. My one concern, that right monitor, since it's not directly in front of him, I feel as if it should be tilted a little.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like it's completely 180 flat, and you know both of them are just flat against each other. But if it's at
That's
an angle,
always
you know.
that's always a taste thing though. Like for
True.
me, I've got mine at the perfect angle. But the side monitors for me is where I like, especially when I'm doing my workflow and my editing. That's where I just open up various folders where I know I grab pieces of pre-made or keyed content that I bring into the videos, and so I just drag over from there and bring it to my center monitor. So I'm not really looking at them.
True.
So it may be something similar for him.
Yeah, I guess it does just depend on what he's using it for. So, I'm just trying to this episode. There's a couple of setups that I'm just giving 10, 10, 10. And I'm trying to find those little things that, you know, take it down a point. But I think for usability, it's perfect. I mean, he was talking about how he just unplugs it, takes it to class, and then he puts it back and he has a whole setup.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And because of that, I think I'm just going to go with a 10 because I do like that he's all about portability, meanwhile having a setup like this, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to find something that I can nitpick in terms of usability, but I really can't. I mean, he's got some headphones hanging on the bass guitar stand. He's got some headphones hanging on the right side of the desk, still kind of out of the way but easily accessible. Yeah, I don't think I can dock this one any points.
So 10 it is?
Yeah, I would have to say.
All right. So now for accessories. One thing that I've seen a lot in setups is that people don't really decorate the walls. Now, his walls are like a pretty unique sort of color. I mean, it's
very like olive drab almost.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not too much, and it goes really well with the whole theme that he's got with his black furniture, sort of, well, dark furniture rather. And I really like what he did with the walls. He put one single painting, which he probably got at IKEA, and it was like just enough. If he would have put another, poster up somewhere, not really the best, but just hanging that up, I mean,
it's very modern, elegant.
Yeah, just circles.
Yeah, but I would love for him to comment back. I'm fairly certain this guy spent a few trips to IKEA because I can spot quite a few IKEA things in this video or this picture. I kind of wish though IKEA. Now I know IKEA very well. Half this room is purchased in IKEA. I'm going to give him a 9 on the accessories because that table that the printer is on looks a little scuffed and beat up compared to the rest of the setup. And I know for a fact IKEA has $25 tables that exact size that would match his desk.
So you should definitely make another run.
He should make another run, and he can get a gray and black with black lace table just like he has there, but the same exact size as that monitor. I picked up a couple actually for my daughter's room, and it would match perfectly, and then it wouldn't detract. Because I mean, everything is perfect. I don't see any scuffs or marks on the walls. Even the baseboard is clean and not looks like it's been kicked or scratched up. But that little table for the printer, I think, takes away from the overall accessory.
Yeah, It's true when you look closely at it. That's why I'm gonna match your score there because I mean, I guess he does use the printer a lot if he's a college student and whatnot.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and
You say he's 20, right?
yep, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's an IT major, so hopefully a lot of his things are online. But in college, I know how that is. Everything has to be pen paper.
And as an IT career professional myself, I can tell you there's two types of IT people. There's no in between. There is meticulous and detail oriented people like him who are clearly like kind of clutter and neat freaks.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the opposite. People that just don't care. Everything is thrown and strewn about. And I work with both of them. So I can tell he's of the, very, very particular about my stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm docking him for that double table.
Yeah, I do agree though. That's even though it's such a little thing, it's like, come on, you could put a little more pride into your IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for theme, all right. So here's another question: what do you think for theme? What do you pull out?
Oh, I think he's going for modern Art Deco. No, he's got a theme. He's got a theme, and he's pulling it off. The colors match. It looks good. He went with an apple theme, but it's not the typical wood tone white wall. Like if I wanted to, when I did this room makeover, I could have totally gone with apple. In fact, I'm halfway there based on the color of the desks and the wall, which would make sense. But I think he went the other way intentionally, pulling out that I'm using apple, but I'm an IT guy. He's kind of mixing both worlds together, keeping it modern and clean. I do feel there's a very spacey theme there.
Yeah, and I like that he has things like his bass guitar because that adds personality, and I think that's what a theme's all about. You don't need to have all one type of. You don't need to have all apple. You don't need to have all green accessories. You just need to have your personality in there, and I think that he did that very well, and because it's so clean and so modern and so fancy, I really think that a 10 is well deserved when you put in enough personality. So I'm gonna give it a 10.
Okay.
And
yeah, I went with a 9, so you dare to be different.
I have to make you look like the douche sometimes. I don't want to always.
I make myself look like a douche every day. I don't need any help.
All right, so now we still have 3 more setups. So we're gonna turn up the gear here and get these going a little quicker because this one coming up, there's
it burns.
yeah, the next 2 actually. Let's be a little more specific. The next 2 are something else. So this is submitted by Preston, and he is 15, and he says he has no money. So if he didn't want to make me feel any worse, I mean, he just had to throw in that line.
Preston, all you need, buddy, is some zip ties.
Or even scotch tape wires together. Like break a rubber band, tie it around, make a knot. Do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking for wire for wire management, I don't feel bad doing this because you didn't try like the first person.
Yeah, there's no attempt.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for a 0.
I'm gonna give him a 1. He did think to put the headphones over the top of the mic so they weren't on the floor.
That is true. That's thinking outside the box.
Yeah, he should have unplugged those for the sake of the picture because it just added to the painfulness. I mean, he's got a. The desktop itself is not bad. That's the thing.
That's true.
Like he's got his HP set up there, turned just right, and he's got his dual monitors. I'm not sure if he has 2 different computers, but just the wires in the back. You got 3 legs right there. Tape those things to the legs.
Yeah, they're all black wires too. So
yeah, I see 1 white wire and maybe just 1 white wire. So yeah, tape them to the legs, and it would look so much cleaner. You don't even know what you're missing out on, and it would take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and some tape.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you have a desk that's wide open like that, and you're gonna let them drop to the floor, like you're just asking for your setup to look way worse than it really should.
Well, it's the same thing with these IKEA Galant desks I have. There's no wire management built in. Granted, they do sell, the wire cages, which I did mount up on the bottom. But before I bought those, I just zip tied all the wires together as well as I could. And then I went to Home Depot and I bought for like 60 cents a piece some of those conduit brackets and just screwed them to the bottom of the desk and stuck them on the bracket hooks.
And that's really all you have to do.
Yeah, and it cost me, I think, $5 in materials, and I'm sure even a 15-year-old can find $5 somewhere.
Yeah, or go beat a kid up at school. Well, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, don't be a bully. Maybe ask for the money. If they don't give it to you, then take it.
Yeah.
But at least ask.
Yeah, you always have to ask. But yeah, so without going too much on the wire management, let's talk about he's out of sight, out of mind. He's got what seems to be a glass, a docking station. that I don't think even has the cable built in. That's why he has the cable just kind of laying there on it.
Yeah. A brush, a really old brush.
Yeah. Ooh. And he's got like one of those Jambox things on top of his computer, which is interesting to have that there.
I believe he's European, though. I recognize that plug.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. I'm just noticing that this is clearly a somebody in Europe.
What about that fan at the bottom?
Oh, that's like the nut fan. You got to have one of those if you live in a hot climate. Now he's in Europe, so it doesn't mean he's necessarily in a hot climate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I refer to as the nut fan. So that's a necessary accessory.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess now that you named it that, I think I got that. So yeah, I think as far as out of sight, out of mind, it just needs a little bit of cleaning up. You don't need to have random accessories just lying on top of your desktop. Just you could get one of those little plastic see-through organizational bins. Wow. And they even have wheels on it. You can put it underneath one of your desks or to the side or whatever. So
he's clearly doing podcasting of some sort or live streaming because he's got his softbox, his mic, and his webcam there.
Yeah.
But I can tell why it looks like clutter back there because it's not the side the camera sees.
Yep.
So, but he showed it to us today, and accessory wise, I don't know. The glass looks, I don't know, maybe dirty. The brush, I don't know why the brush is there. Maybe so he can look sexy for his streams. I don't know. There's not a whole lot going on there though, so I'm gonna give it maybe a 5 because there's really not discernible what's going on here.
That was for accessories.
For accessories, yeah.
All right, let's rewind for a second. What was it? Out of sight, out of mind.
Oh,
yeah. I'm gonna give
2?
it 2. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3. So I'm gonna do that again for you, make you look like the more. Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
And then usability. Before we get into accessories, I'm gonna say it's actually it's not terrible, but it does look a little uncomfortable if you have the fan right there. If you do want to move to the right side and utilize that side, it's it's a little weird. I'm just gonna go with the 4 because once you clean things up, I think it will be a lot better. Honestly,
I'm gonna go with a 5.
Okay, now you're doing that to me. Okay, yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that right monitor is his stream preview.
Yeah.
He probably just looks over. I doubt he ever sits in front of it. Otherwise, the keyboard wouldn't be permanently wired where it is.
He's also got, I think, like a DVR or something like that.
Yeah, he's probably got a PVR that he's doing his live streaming captures from. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 5.
Okay, and then for accessories, you said.
Oh, like a 2.
For accessories?
Yeah, because. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh. I'll give him a 3. I mean, he's got his softbox, he's got his mic, and he's got his webcam. But other than that, I'm deducting it because I don't find the glass, the white dock, and the brush to really be necessary accessories on his desk.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to give him a 4 because, I mean, yeah, what is wrong with that brush? It's like really disgusting. The more and more
it's his lucky brush. It's like his Samson brush. You can't.
It's like that guy with the chair. He needed to keep the chair because it's probably his lucky chair.
Oh, yeah. And this guy moved the chair. Who knows what his chair situation is?
Oh, God. I can only imagine. He's probably sitting on a stool or something like that. But yeah, so.
Milk crate.
All right. So now we come up to theme, right, Cam? Good. Okay, cool. So for theme, I think that you could kind of, if you try, you could pull out like.
It's color coordinated.
Yeah.
Even the brush in his monitor match.
That's true. He's got the white dock that kind of goes in with the molding, and I'm just pulling out things really hard. But I think that podcasting is a pretty decent theme that I would be willing to give a 3 for rather than a complete 0. So I'll go for a 3.
I'll give him a 4.
Okay.
I'll give him a 4 because it's color matched. I mean, at least it's not like he has like one brown desk, one red desk. Everything is just like pish posh everywhere. I think he's got a fairly decent color theme going there, and really, I think if the wires were clean, the theme would get a higher score.
Yeah, I agree. Now we move on to the next setup, and this one I was wondering if you wanted to just do this fun little thing, since it's.
You're just being mean now, even by putting this one in there. You're just being.
Hey, I told people if they submit their setup, it will make it on the show. I'm just being a nice guy. So because of that, this setup is submitted by David, and he said, I put some text and arrows on mine because I really want you to understand what I'm trying to show you guys in this setup.
I love the text.
It really like let's take a look at some of these. He he put an arrow for where the Xbox controller is, and then all the way across the other side of the setup, he has the text that says it's cleaner when it's not wires when not placed in random spots.
That's like saying it's cold when it's not hot.
Yeah. And I like how he blurred everything out on the screens just in case he had something going on that we didn't need to see. He
He's
did
got like Pornhub up on the left.
and I like the best part is at the bottom. It says padding for when my cats want to lay here, which I really like that he put.
It's
cats
obvious
first.
the cats have been laying there. Look at the filters of his fans on the side of the case.
Yeah, they're
That computer, I'm fairly certain, is full of cat hair whenever it's not being cleaned.
yeah, and he said he's trying to show off the specs, but he even let us know that he failed. So at least he let us know. I think we should spare him and tell him to watch the beginning of the episode, sort of get some ideas on what he could do to his setup, and we'll just give him a 0 across the board because we'll just void him out. Is that fair?
He is null and void. Okay, so this is going to be used as the "Don't let this happen to you" segment now,
Exactly.
where you can be like, okay, here's what you should do. Yeah, I'll let you start because I'll be honest there, I don't know where to begin. Is that a flip camera on top of his
It
TV?
is. That is throwback. That is very old. But I guess he's using it as he's making people think it's like a webcam for his Xbox, maybe. I mean,
I don't know, maybe, I don't know if that's possible or not. I really don't know.
I mean, those things are so old. I mean, he probably just has it there for show, make it look cool, which is kind of weird. I'm not trying to be mean, but I think that we can't see the wires that are underneath, and from what we could see on top, the wires are probably in both places. So,
Well, remember, they're in random spots.
well, when they're not in random spots, they're cleaner.
Is that tissue behind there?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So,
It's got weird.
I'm just gonna go for.
He's got so much going on.
I don't even know. I mean, he has a decent mic, and his headphones don't look half bad, but I'm just
He's
gonna
got-
I'm just gonna go for a 0 for wire management.
Well, yeah, we already gave him a 0 across the board,
Yeah.
but I think in order to keep things cleaner, I will at this point. It's kind of like the mentality I take on some builds that I do, where the customers are like, I really don't care about the wire management. I'm like, fine, I'll make it look clean on the front, and it can be like a mullet in the back,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
tangled up and sticking everywhere. Shove those wires behind the desk, for love of God. Gaben is turning over right now.
Well, you know, one thing I always tell people is like, look at this,
He's not dead, by the way, guys. It's just a phrase.
look at how
Gaben
he
lives
has
forever.
the drawers on the left side. That means he has a lot that he could just
They're empty.
yeah. And behind that though, behind the wood, he could easily just put all the cables hidden behind.
Is
it.
that a Wii U or a PSP or what is that in the desk? It looks like it's on in the drawer.
It kind of looks like a PSP almost, but maybe
Big.
maybe
Looks
it's
really
the
big to
Wii
me.
U pad. I don't know.
It might be a Wii U pad.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Suggestion number 1: get your cat a new bed.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe
move it away from your computer. If your filters are not indication of what you're doing to your PC, cats love PCs because they're warm. But I guarantee you, PCs hate cats because you're going to clog up everything and you're eventually going to kill your PC. So you need to give that cat the kick and put a bed over by the TV. Let it sleep over there.
Yeah,
You're hurting your PC, man.
Oh, and now I got someone, with their horn. They think that's just fun to honk their horn. Thank you. Yeah. The bed I definitely think is really just clear off the floor. Oh, God, I don't know what to do at the top of the desk. Just, I say this a lot. Take your one hand, both hands actually, put it
Yeah.
on the far right and just,
Shove it.
yep, all the way
I
to
was-
the left side.
I was just thinking that. Like, you see on TV when someone gets mad, they do the desk
Yeah.
clear. That's called restart. You need to restart.
Yeah, I think if he was to pull everything off, hence the restart, he could really make it look nice because he's got, his Xbox, he's got some cool accessories. He just didn't do it right. So,
You know what? He at the same time could be like, you guys are all jerks. I don't care what it looks like. There are legitimate form over function people out there, who are just like, if it works, I'm cool with it.
yeah.
But you suggested you put it on Pimp My Setup. Therefore, this isn't the pimp.
Yeah.
This isn't the pimp on this one.
Man. Okay. Let's
It
move
hurts.
on. Yeah. Let's just not even bother. But Okay, so this next setup, guys, I did release Pimp Perks for those that are interested or aware of what it is. I'll talk more about it in a later video. Perks.pimpmysetup.com. The Fast Pass is a part of it. Kieran is the first person to utilize that, and because of that, his setup is now on the show. And I think you actually saw us on Twitter, Jay, the other day.
He did tweet this to me, and I was actually I was out and about when he sent it, and I actually stopped what I was doing, sat down, and like zoomed in on the pictures he tweeted me, and specifically went through his every aspect of the video, the pictures I could find. Before I even knew he was going to be on today's show,
Yeah.
I am in love with his setup.
It's really, really nice. And I've known him he's been a viewer for the longest time. And his setup has progressed like you wouldn't even believe. The amount of time he puts into everything is just amazing. I mean,
I really should show a progression of my setup over time. People think, now people do it, but for the most part, it doesn't happen this way where people think he just one day built this.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen. There's changes that happen, and over time he changes this or tweaks that. The only thing I can't do with his setup, which I used to have and I ditched, was all the black furniture because I live in such a windy, dusty place. Black is a nightmare. I legitimately bought these tabletops to replace my old IKEA tabletops so I didn't have to dust it every other day.
oh my God. It just looks so good for him. I mean, look at now that's one thing I always say. If you have, a certain color LED in your, I don't know, let's say your keyboard, pull it throughout the whole setup. He's got the blue in his case, blue behind his computer monitors, and he's
Big
actually
Phoenix case.
Yeah, it's God, it's such a nice case. I like the siding of it. It's really, really nice. It's just so nice. And Cameron, if you want to show that night photo, it's like so nice. Everything about it. He has some USB powered LEDs. He has, some of the just straight up normal plug and play LED strips. He really went crazy, and because of that, he has just perfection across the board. And I love the shelving because that shows off his personality and what he's into.
Oh yeah, those are IKEA shelves too. I have the same ones.
They're really, I mean, look what shelving can do.
Can I point this out real quick, guys? If you live near an IKEA, please. IKEA is amazing for getting yourself cheap furniture. Those shelves are $14.99. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in here. Well, 3 of them here. I've got the baby's room has them now because you need a shelf, $15, and you can get a shelf. They have ones that are twice as long for $20.
Yeah.
So they're super cheap, and look what you can do. You can use it to utilize hobbies or trinkets or whatever you want to show off. It's up and out of the way, and it's so freaking cheap. You don't need to go spend expensive furniture to get a nice setup.
Yeah, and I love that he's got the amazing just triple monitor stand. Makes such a difference because he has his A2s underneath, and he could just put everything underneath that and not have to work because he only has one arm holding up the monitors. And I love, he actually has like the wire mold for his TV going down. Yeah. Which is nice because at nighttime you don't even see anything. It just blends in. And I mean,
I think that's the one thing I'm gonna have to, I can't give him a 10 for though when it comes to the wire management is the way the wires are coming down from the TV are black. Like I said, the molding that you can get that goes under the TV,
make it white. Yeah.
It's $20 and it comes white already, so he doesn't have to paint it.
Yeah.
And it screws into the drywall. It has its own anchors. It takes 10 minutes to install. You measure it, cut it to the right length with a hacksaw, stick the wire in there, put the cover on it, and it's going to be much more stealth.
Yeah.
That's the only critique I have for his wire management on here.
Because you look at it and it does that's the one thing that I think my eyes go to right away is that. Yeah. But if I cover that up, I mean, wow, it is super clean. So let's just go quickly through the categories. I'm going to say wire management, it's a 9. I do agree that that's the only thing that sticks out that needs to be fixed. So I think a 9 is fair.
Yeah, I agree with the 9.
All right. So now as far as out of sight, out of mind, I think he killed it because, I mean, looking at his desktop, nothing looks like it's there with no reason.
Right.
And everything that is, because he's got a couple of controllers that I think he put there as this on display because I see like a SCUF maybe and just a normal
it's a very contrasty photo, so it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But I feel like those are just on display,
I see what appears to be some sort of a headphone preamp there, maybe for like an Astro or something. I can't tell, like to the right of a speaker there.
Yeah.
But everything looks like it's got its place. What is that thing sticking up to the right of the microphone? I can't tell in my photo.
Let's see.
I can't tell what that is.
I do not know actually.
It looks like he's got a bed right there to the right, so he's got very efficient use of his space. So Everything he's got out, clearly he wants you to see.
I really don't know what that is at the right side. He's here in the chat right now, so hopefully he'll let us know, and when it catches up, we'll figure that out. But for out of sight, out of mind, wouldn't you agree the way that he put everything on the shelf was just perfect?
Oh yeah, they're display shelves, and he's clearly got his hobbies represented up there.
Yeah. So overall, I think for out of sight, out of mind, I'm gonna give him a 10 because he looks like he's in like a small area because of how close his bed is.
This is a bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's pretty damn well with the space he had.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give him a 9 for out of sight, out of mind.
Okay.
I guess it's hard to tell though. I can't tell what that is under his desk. The big thing in the middle. I don't know if it just could be this monitor I'm on. It's not the greatest. It looks just solid black, so I can't tell what that is. They say it looks like a big square right under his headphones. His Blue Razor's there. I can't tell what that is. Is that a subwoofer?
I'm not sure. He's here in the chat. Hopefully he'll just fill us in on what those two things are.
Yeah.
He said a Razer case? There's a delay, so trying to figure out what he's talking about is
I think he has two. Well, I would say he has two PCs going on, but clearly on the right he's got an Xbox One hooked up over there.
Yeah.
I see the Xbox Connect and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 9.
Okay. Now talking usability, I think he killed it there because it's a little difficult with how high the TV is to use the TV while sitting down at his desk, but when he's at his bed, I think that it's like perfect.
I think that's for movies and stuff when he's chilling in his bed.
Yeah, so that's why he also has. He said in the email he has a Chromecast hooked up, which is really cool because he could be watching a video and push it to his Chromecast, head into bed, and he's all set. So I think for usability, he could turn to the right. He could be playing a game, turn to the left, game on his PC or do whatever he's doing there. He's got his mic. He can just pull out. Everything's perfect. I'm just trying to see. Again, I'm trying not to give him a 10. I try not to do that, but this setup, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. Usability on this, though, I think given it looks like he was given like a 3 foot by 5 foot space to work with for everything, I'm going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
I am not good at saying I have a teeny little space and I have to make it work. I have a 12 foot by 10 foot room here and I have a hard time making it work. So
yeah.
He's got a little, much smaller space, and he keeps it clean and organized. Yeah, I know what it's like to try and deal with a small space and try and, in my case, run an entire production studio out of this one room, and it's not easy. So I'm giving him a 10. I know his pain.
Yeah, and you know what? He just said in the chat room that is actually a storage bin at the bottom. So I think that's even better, and that's why I'll give him a 10 because, it doesn't even look like a storage bin. That's one. It's not like see-through or anything. And it's getting rid of all the things that he doesn't need to show. So it's very, very open space, very nice. Now, as far as accessories, the LEDs just sell it for me. The amount of LEDs he has in this setup is insane.
I think, in my opinion, accessories and theme are 1 and 1 in this build.
Yeah, for sure. Because the blue goes with the theme, and all the things he has, on display, and sort of all his accessories for his computer and the gaming setup, they all go hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 10 on both, because it just, the accessories are the theme. In my case, he's clearly a live streamer. He's live streaming more than likely Call of Duty based on the trinkets I see around his desk and stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks like he has. I wish I could see what the viewers see from his podcast, like what's behind the camera. But I think it looks like if it's this nice in this corner, it's going to be equally as nice in the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And I think he's got an amazing podcast theme going on. All the blue matches, the keyboards, the backlighting of the monitors,
so much.
Back of the desk. Even his Razer headset is themed to his build.
Yeah. It really, that alone just sold it for me. And that's why I'm also going to give it a 10 across the board, because of the LEDs, which is not really the best way to score based off of just one accessory. But looking at the rest of the setup, you could even go for the whole black theme. He has all black everywhere, and when it's not black, it's a blue accent. And
right, even the most monitors are this way, but even the blue LEDs on the monitor are adding to his theme.
Yeah, it's like just the little things. It's wonderful. So I think that that does it for all the setups. But now this is the final part of the show where we find out the score for each setup and who the top 2 setups are and who's going to go battle to be in the Hall of Fame for the first 10 episodes. So Cameron, let us know, what did Jason get overall?
Jason has a 31 overall.
Is your mic all the way up?
It is all the way up.
Okay, you said what?
31 overall.
31. Okay, what did Crawford get?
95 and a half.
And what did Christian get?
You like that half, huh?
Yeah, that was nice. What
I could have gone with 8 or what is it, 3 3/4 or whatever I did.
True.
I could have done that.
Yeah, at least you gave him something that wasn't too terrible for the math. But okay, so what did Crawford get? I mean Christian.
93.
93. Wow, these are some close setups. Now, what did Preston get?
29.
And what did David get?
0.
Yeah, and then Kieran.
97.
So who are the top 2 setups?
Kieran and Crawford.
Awesome. I think those deserved it, honestly. So guys, obviously you said Kieran was number 1, right? Yeah. So Kieran is number 1. Crawford is number 2. Overall, some really amazing setups and some very interesting setups to learn from. So, hey Jay, really seriously, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem. I'll tell you right now, it's not easy to critique them.
Yeah.
And I know it's not easy to send them in. I wouldn't even send my setup into your show. I mean, I've known about your program for a while, and I've never sent in pictures because I don't like my own setup personally the way it is. And I'm not happy with the way I've had to arrange this room, but limitations are what they are. So I'm like, well, if I don't like my setup, I don't expect anyone else to. So.
Well, it's been a fun episode. And again, thanks so much. And to everybody that tuned in, thank you. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, check out all the other episodes, and hopefully you'll come back on soon, Jay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me know when you want me on.
Awesome. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Pin My Setup, episode 6, recorded live on November 23rd, 2014. My name is Matt Philly. You can check me out on Twitter, @MattPhilly.
Jay's 2 cents at jays2cents.com is the website. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just put in Jays and you'll get the rapper and me, I promise. Google.
Yeah, and you'll like both of them. So there you go. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the Flippity Flop. Peace.
Later.
Thanks for watching this episode of Pimp My Setup. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow at Pimp My Setup on Twitter for the latest info about the show. And check out swashin.tv/schedule to know when we'll be live again. Stay up to date with Matt Philly by following him on Twitter @MattPhilly. And until next time, we'll catch you on the Flippity Flop.